Welcome back to Ask Diz. I'm Diz, and this is the show where I answer your running questions. Let's do it. Today's question comes from Troy, and Troy asks, is running one race outside of the desired heart rate zone going to cause an issue, even if it's only a smaller distance, like a 10K? Troy, thank you for the question. I know we've done some back and forth, a little bit of talking and chatting on the Instagrams over the last several months, and I know, just for the context for everybody else that's watching here, that you're new to this whole heart rate training thing, something that you're figuring out, starting to see some progress with, which is awesome. Keep it up. But it's a great question. It's a great question because it's one of the most common misconceptions when it comes to fairly hardcore, pretty much only going to do my heart rate training within my desired zones, kind of the Maffetone style of heart rate training is one run, is doing one race going to set me back from all this effort that I've done to get to this point and all this discipline that I've shown to keep my heart rate low, the times that I've walked during a run when I didn't feel like I was working that hard, but my heart rate was up. Is going hard one time gonna set me back? And thankfully, my friend, the answer is no. The answer is no. You can absolutely run a hard race, do a hard workout once in a while. Now, I wish I could tell you that there was a set guideline. I wish I could tell you that every 4 weeks or every 6 weeks or for 3 weeks out of every quarter or something like that. I wish I could give you some kind of set standard, set metric to let you know, all right, when is it okay to go hard? How much can I go hard? One race, 1 week, what can I do? What should I do? It doesn't quite work like that, as you probably can guess. It's fluid. It's not a simple answer as far as just, every 3 weeks do a hard workout, or every 3 weeks go ahead and schedule a race, or every 6 weeks, or every 8 weeks, or whatever. There's no cut and dry. If you want Maffetone's take on it, I'm obviously paraphrasing it here. But from everything I've read and studied from him, it's basically when you race, go ahead and race hard. Don't race too much. Make sure that you can have several races in a race season, especially if they're 5K, 10K type of distances. Nothing that's too long and too stressful for your body. Assuming that you're fit and that like your question says that it's you're considering 10K a shorter distance. So I'm assuming that the idea of running 10K isn't a huge undertaking for you. But for those that are, it could be shorter distance at 5K, 1 mile, whatever. Just, as long as it's a distance that you feel like you can handle, you can run several of them in a 4, 5, 6 week period. The key, from Maffetone's perspective, and I think I agree with this, is that leading up to that, you want to be being pretty diligent with your heart rate zones, staying in underneath that math level or whatever your zone 2, whatever your metric is. You want to be staying in that for pretty much all of your training runs for 6 to 8 weeks leading up to that, to really make sure that your aerobic base is strong, your aerobic fitness is as high as it can be, and then blast it. Now, you're not going to blast every run in that 4 to 6 to 8 week racing season, if you will, but you're going to blast your races. So you might have 3, 4, 5 races in that 2-month period, especially if they're all kind of in that 1 mile, 5K, 3K, 8K, 10K type of distance. Blast it. Blast 1, 2, 3, 4 races, you'll be fine. Once you get past that 6 to 8 week race window, however, that's when it's time to dial things back, get more disciplined, and stick to your heart rate zones throughout. So to answer your specific question, Troy, is running an occasional hard race or even hard workout going to be a problem where you're blasting it hard for, somewhere between 20 and say 60 minutes? No. And in fact, and I'm not going to get into all the benefits now. Maybe that's a good follow-up question though. You're welcome to ask that one, Troy. But in fact, there are some benefits to that. There's form benefits to running at a high intensity. There's body adaptations. You put more stress on your body when you're running hard, so your muscles have to work and regenerate. Your bones get stronger and denser. Your tendons and your ligaments get stronger as well. So there's a lot of positives to running hard. The key, and please hear this, Troy and everyone, is that a little bit of hard speed workouts, a little bit of hard racing goes a long way. So you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to be hammering it all the time, because that's where too much of a good thing becomes a bad thing and your body actually starts to break down. Because again, if we go back to the physiology of how we get stronger, how we get faster, how we get more durable as runners and as athletes, it's the little micro traumas of some speed work, a little bit of strength training, things like that. And then the repair process, our body's natural process of repairing from those traumas that help us to get stronger, which then helps us get faster, more endurance, more resilient to injury, etc. So if we're doing too much without that adequate recovery time, that's when we get into problems. And that's where a lot of runners get into problems, especially those of us, which thankfully, I'm not really in this situation anymore, but those of us that deal with chronic injuries over and over and over again, a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times, it's from going too hard too often and never really building that aerobic base. So kudos to you, Troy, for building that aerobic base, that firm foundation of fitness by sticking with the heart rate training, sticking with your heart rate zones and staying at an appropriate level of intensity for you. But now, push it once in a while. Push it once in a while. Get out there for a race, hammer it, have fun, and then come back to that heart rate training again when you get back after that race or after those couple of races. In between races, of course, as well. Keep it nice and easy. Keep building that base, and you'll be just fine. So, Troy, I hope that helps. Obviously, if you have further questions, let me know. You can also ask another question, heart rate training related, or something completely different. Just send it to askdiz@dizruns.com, and we'll go ahead and get it into the queue and get it answered in an upcoming episode of the show. So, Troy, thank you for the question. Thank you, everybody, for watching this one. Hope it was helpful. If you haven't gotten on board the heart rate training bandwagon yet, come on board. There's room. I'm still learning more about it, still fine-tuning my own training and my own strategy, and I'm happy to help with any questions that you might have, especially those that are related to heart rate training. So, Troy and everyone, thank you guys for watching this one. Hope this was helpful. Hope it was useful. If it is, press share. Send it along somewhere. Maybe somebody else will get some use out of this as well. But if not, no worries. I appreciate it. And until next time, y'all, be well, and we'll talk soon, all right? See ya.